Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time. I'm getting to the bottom, guys, to the bottom of some Fireside. Fireside is that smokiness of that lap sung that I just absolutely love. Sometimes not in the morning, but you know what? Today is an exception. I just love it. It's time to make another batch. Anyways, today is going to be an interesting day. I got a bunch of comments requesting different things, and we were talking in the last couple of videos about gear, and someone said, hey, you know, why don't you take a look at some of your older equipment and show us what it looks like and talk about it a little bit. Well, I wanted to go a little bit further than that and ask the question, do you really need new cameras? Is it important? And what does, like, just dusting off some really old gear, what do those images look like? And that's what I did. Let me first start out by saying that if you have not registered to win this thinkTANK backpack, this camera bag, as of yet, this is the Urban Axis 10. Really, really great. You can hold probably one DSLR or mirrorless camera and at least two lenses and a whole bunch of kit in it. I have one that I use on a regular basis. This one is brand new, and I said, you know, I'm going to give this one away, and that's what I'm doing. So at the end of November, I'm going to pick a winner randomly, and that will be it, and you will receive it. So about I think it's 2 episodes back, maybe 3 episodes back, I did a video about that. I'll put a link here and then also in the description as well as the pinned comment, and there'll be a link so you can go and register. Basically, to register, that's all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, which doesn't take but a second. Also, I would say turn on your bell notifications so when I do put out the video saying who won, you'll actually get it. And then finally, just put a comment in that specific video. I don't care what it is, just put a comment, what you hate about the show, what you like about it, anything that you want to see different or whatever. So that's all you have to do to win that thinkTANK. Also, if you haven't downloaded my ebook as of yet, go take a look at it. It's free. Go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. 10 tips at making tack sharp images. There's something in there for amateurs, pro-ams, as well as professionals. You're going to learn something no matter what your skill level is. I kind of wrote it that way. So go download it. It's free. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Now, finally, I have to ask at the beginning of this video that if you like this even a little bit, please give it a thumbs up. All right? I see thousands, sometimes 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people watching the video and they're enjoying it and commenting, but then there'll only be like 200-300 thumbs ups. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Just take that extra second. I would really appreciate it. It would help out the video, help out the channel, help out me, help out everything, especially those YouTube gods. They'll just look just kindly on the video and the channel and say, hey, maybe someone else wants to see this video. So anyways, let's get right into it. I dusted off some gear. I took, well, let's just say my first digital camera, all right, was a 10D. That we got rid of. But I still have a 20D, a 30D, a 40D, a 7. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. So I took one of the older ones, which is this 20D. Now, I don't know if you can see it. Let me go and see what the camera does here. Can you see that? I know it's got the big bazooka. Anyways, that looks blown out. So this is a 20D, and attached to it is a 300 millimeter L glass, f4. Now, you say, oh, well, you know, it looks pretty new. Well, no. This lens is 29 years old. It's going to be 30 years old coming in 2021. I think it's circa 1991. That's this lens. The camera is right around 2004, which puts it in right around 17 years old, somewhere around there. So you're looking at 30-year-old gear, 17-year-old gear. And what I did is I went and took some shots with it when I was still back at home. Now, this camera literally will do 8.2 megapixels. That's it. 8.2 megapixels. But you know what? It works out pretty good. I think so, at least. So I'm going to show you some of these images. I'm going to leave this sitting right here, this big bazooka thing, and I want your thoughts on it, okay? Remember, the question of the day is, do you need a brand new camera? Can you use older gear and still get by or still make some really good stuff? So I'm going to jump into my iPad here, and I'm going to bring you along with me and take a look at just a couple of shots that I did with it. Now here's the first image. This is a bird bath, as you can tell. This was out back. Now if I zoom in just a little bit, let me just get in there a little bit tighter. It really doesn't look too bad. Now obviously it's not crispy, but remember, I'm shooting this with that 300mm probably about, I want to say about 40, 50 feet away. All right, so keep that in mind. We're not talking about being right on top of it with a macro lens. So it's not too bad, really. If we get in pretty close, we could see a little bit of fringing going on here right on these edges, and that's to be expected. This is an old piece of glass. Like I said, we're looking at 29-year-old glass. Now, let's back out of this and open up the next one. This one is Garden Boy. Let's check this one out. So now, once again, I mean, if you look at that soft background, I mean, it looks quite nice. Let me get in there. I mean, it's not bad at all. Look at this. That is we're now at probably like 800% of what the shot should be, right? The noise really looks more like grain. It does not look bad at all, right? Does not look bad. So let's just get in here about 100% or so. Maybe get in a little bit more detailed. It is not bad. Look at this. Look at the detail right around here. You can see some right here. You can see a little bit of like webs or something going on. Let's move down a little bit. Here's some more webs. I mean, the detail is not bad considering this is only 8.2 megapixels. That's nothing, right? Everyone is shooting 30 megapixels, 40 megapixels, and even higher, right? So 8 megapixels, not bad. Let's go ahead and switch over to the next one. This one is the flowering air plant. We have so many of these out back. So it really looks quite good. I mean, look at the detail here in the bark. This right here is a cypress tree, if you didn't know it. And the air plant, this is a flowering air plant. They are absolutely beautiful. This area right here turns bright, bright red. Depends on the season. So once again, I mean, if we kind of go through this a little bit, I mean, look at this detail right here. Now, just for a point of reference, I'm probably about 35, 40 feet away. And remember, this is 8 megapixels. We're not talking about a lot of megapixels, and the detail is nice. And once again, look at that blur in the background. It's not bad. We're not seeing any type of banding or any kind of nastiness in this. It's really clean. Really clean. For what it is, it's really clean. Once again, this is a Canon EOS 20D. This next one is the Mottled Ducks. Now these ducks are absolutely beautiful. I call them brown ducks. Look at these things. Wow, right? So that's probably about 100% or so, and they look pretty good. Now, you know, it's not going to be absolutely, you know, birder quality, let's say, but I mean, if you look at it, it's really not bad. Look at this. So even here, it's a little bit soft right around here. So maybe we were off a little bit, or maybe that's the best it could do. It's really not bad. And then once again, look at that background. It's clean. It does not look bad at all. Does not look bad at all. Now let me go to the last image. Here we go. Now this is a hibiscus. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Let's take a look at that background. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty sweet. That is not bad. And now look at the edge of the flower. We're not seeing very much. Now look at the depth of field on that. We can see right here we're out of focus, whereas right here we are not out of focus. We're pretty clear. You're looking at probably about an inch and a half of focus. So this is pretty sweet. Let's get in here and take a look at it. You're looking at these. That is pretty crispy. Look at the veins right in here. Let me zoom in a little bit. That is not bad. You can see the stamens. Yeah, it's not absolutely perfectly clear. But once again, at 300 millimeters, I was probably sitting at about 15 feet, 20 feet, somewhere right around there. And if we look down here, look at that spider web right here. Nice. I mean, that is teeny tiny. And from 15, 20 feet away, that is amazing. Considering, once again, we're looking at a camera that is 17 years old. We're looking at 8.2 megapixels. And on top of that, you're looking at a 30-year-old lens. And in my personal opinion, I think that looks absolutely beautiful. And the back The blur just looks absolutely beautiful also. There's not a lot of dotting, pixelization, not a lot of grain, and this is old stuff. So when you look at this, and when I see this, I'm like, well, you know, yes, this is not going to be what you would expect to be. Let's say if you're a birder, you want some real tight detail. You want a lot of megapixels, not 8 megapixels. But let me go ahead and shut this off real quick. So when I look at these pictures, I really think that they're not bad for, once again, being 8 megapixels, 8.2 megapixels out of a 17-year-old camera and a just about 30-year-old lens. So once again, we go full circle. Do we need a new camera all the time? Or is the camera that you have good enough for what you're doing? I always look at purchasing a body, a new body, only if that body is going to do something for, number one, make you more money, right? Number two, save you time. Or number three, there is some element to it that you absolutely can't do without. If not, there's no reason to go buy a new body just because a new body comes out. This is what a lot of people do, and they spend a lot of money. I say it all the time. Buy glass. Glass is forever. Someone called me out and said, no, it's not forever. Well, it's not, because sometimes camera manufacturers will change their mount. And that happens every once in a while. But look at this 30-year-old lens. This is an EF lens. I could throw this on a brand new R5 and use it all day long. Okay, so those EF lenses have been around for just decades and decades and decades, and they're still around. And I'm going to venture to say the RF line will be the same thing with Nikon. Their Z, their S line, their Pro Glass will be the same thing. G Master on the Sony side, the same thing. It's going to be around for a while. Okay, those mounts aren't going away anytime soon. So glass is always a better investment than a body. So what did I learn here? Okay, that I can pass along to you. Number one, you have to get your exposure right in the camera. Why is that? Even when shooting RAW, it doesn't provide a great amount of latitude to be able to dial stuff in after the fact. You just simply can't. It's just not there. There's not enough room to play, let's say. So you really need to get it right in camera. That's number one. Also, what you need to get right in camera is the framing. Every one of those pictures that you saw were framed by me before pulling the trigger. They weren't zoomed in. They weren't cropped in. As I've told you in the past, and if you haven't heard it from me, I'll tell you again. If you have, for example, a 50 megapixel camera that's shooting 50 megapixel images, you shoot the shot and you say, okay, this looks good, but I want to crop in. You crop in 50%. What did you just do? Well, you took your 50 megapixel image and turned it into a 25 megapixel image. Right? Now all of a sudden you have this great camera shooting okay images. Even worse, if you're shooting, let's say, a 24 megapixel camera and you did the exact same thing, now all of a sudden you went from 24 megapixels down to 12 megapixels. It's not good, guys, right? Not good. So get it right in camera. When you're dealing with an older camera, you want to use every bit of those megapixels. Chances are you're not going to have a lot of them, so you don't want to go and throw them away. And when you crop in, you're throwing away your pixels. All right? Don't do it. Keep them. So those are the two things that I found that are very crucial, let's say. Also, you're going to start getting into some moire, some fringe and whatnot that you'll have to defringe because the lenses are older. Okay, they don't have the same type of coatings and all the rest of the stuff, and you're going to get a little bit more of that blue, purple, some red, magenta halos around stuff where you have something that's really contrasty, really bright to really dark. When they merge together, when they touch, you end up getting that. So it's not really that big of a problem. So for me, I would have to say, if you have a camera and it's doing everything that you need it to do, buy a lens. You're going to be much more happy with that lens than buying a new piece of equipment that you're going to learn. Because I guarantee you, even a body like this, that's a 20D, and I've been shooting for decades now, there's probably something in here that I don't even know about. Okay? And I'm a pro. I've been doing this forever. It's just the nature of the beast. You're not going to be able to squeeze everything out of the camera as you think you would. So, once again, don't buy a new body if you don't absolutely have to. It just, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. I want to know what you guys are doing right now. We have the pandemic. People are out of work. Money is not just flowing as it used to be, let's say. Are you guys starting to get a little bit more, let's say, value hungry, ROI, return on investment hungry, let's say, and saying, you know what, before I buy something, I want to know that I'm going to get a lot out of it, or I'm just not going to buy it. It just doesn't make sense to buy it. I don't want to spend the money because I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the future brings today because everything is just such a wreck, okay? I want to know what you guys are doing. Also, do you want to see some more videos that are like this? Some of my old equipment, maybe a 1D, the very first 1D. I bought that for about $6,000, $7,000. And guys, it shoots like 4.2, 4.3 megapixels, all right? For like $6,000. That was my first pro camera, all right? So anyways, this was a lot of fun for me. If you want to see, like I said, some stuff like this, throw the video a thumbs up and I'll do some more of this. It was definitely fun. And I want to hear from you. What camera are you using? Are you looking at buying a new one? Or are you going to stay steadfast with the camera that you have? I'll probably do a poll along with this video, and it might be along the lines of, are you happy with your camera? Yes or no? Are you going to be buying a new one in the next year? Yes or no? Or are you going to stick with your old one or whatever? And just have a couple of questions because I really would like to know where people stand on this. I know from the polls that we've done that the majority of you guys are enthusiasts. Right? You're not pro-ams, you're not pros. It's probably like 25% of you are pros. So I know the demographic that I'm speaking to. So I really like these polls. So definitely take them. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, once again, throw it a big thumbs up. That would be absolutely awesome. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available. And click the bell icon somewhere around there. So when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That would be absolutely awesome and appreciated. Don't forget, thinkTANK Urban Access 10. Somewhere down around here or in the comments, go to that link, leave a comment, subscribe, and you will be entered to win it. Also, when we're done talking here down below in the comments, go to community.jcristina.com. Once again, community.jcristina.com. It's our creative Discord server. You'll find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photographers and videographers and tech heads over there conversing 24/7. A lot of smart people, no trolls. You'll love it. You'll be able to ask questions and get answers from really smart people. Anyways, community.jcristina.com. And finally, if you are a subscriber, use promotional code YT20 at checkout whenever you go to jcristina.com, picking up any of my photography tools that I've invented over the last year, 2 years, 10 years, and even 15 years. I have a lot of products in there. Check them out. There's going to be something in there that you like, I promise you. And if there is, use that promo code YT20 at checkout and you'll get 20% off everything that's in your shopping cart. Not just one item, everything. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay healthy and stay safe.